And we're live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by Chelsea's finest, Onke Sihle. What's happening, my friends?
Away.
Yeah.
Tough, a very tough winter's Monday.
Oh, of course. I know. Indeed. Without football on top of that, without any sport. Was there any sport this weekend other than no Brad Binder?
There was no sport.
There was
Cricket,
no sports. It was Brad Binder.
There was
Just that.
there was
Ashes,
there
or
was the
CPD,
Ashes.
they're going
Women's.
to.
It was the women's
Ipele-
ashes.
yeah. Izofika nayo to that level, but ayikho there as yet.
Yeah.
Ashes now was quite entertaining. Why
Yeah.
is this thing doing this? But besides that, maybe it's at family
Yeah.
time.
Family time indeed, dog. You know, I went to a concert, gents, on Constitutional Hill. Yeah.
You
There's a
didn't
guy
tell
named-
me how the slow mag did for you.
Oh, no, it helped. It helped big time because I was tired. And I wouldn't lie. I was tired. Yeah.
Actually,
But yeah,
I
Miss
saw
Keith.
a couple of folks posting. It looked like it was mad fun.
Yeah, no, FKJ. I'm not sure if you guys know
I
FKJ.
know FKJ, yeah.
Yeah. No, he was doing his thing compared to yo. But one thing I can say, dog, like people need to stop buying VIP tickets because the way they placed the VIP gents, they were all the way to the far left, Joe. Like I'm like, so when I perform a stage, whereas if you guys are all that side, you know. So for me, I think it's a scam. People need to stop.
It's always
Thinking
been a
that it's
scam.
special.
We did Ikunye,
Yeah.
when was it? Was it in March and whatnot? EVIP
Yeah.
corner, might they get to the left of the stage? So
Yeah.
literally for you to see, there's like one corner that everyone
Yeah.
gathers from a VIP.
You see, and that's nonsense.
You before you buy, you have to know where VIP is going to be situated. They need to
and it
map
makes it
out.
tricky. It
They need
makes
to map
it,
out.
if they don't map it out, then they just tell you that it's VIP phase 1. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
I know.
what's that? Delicious Fest has the same problem.
Yeah.
The Dome used to do it well when it wasn't a car dealership and it
Yeah.
did concerts.
Ish.
You could get like Golden Circle.
Yeah.
The car dealership, man.
Guys,
You could
guys,
get
the
proper
Dome.
Golden Circle, VIP. You know,
Yeah.
now VIP is only serves the purpose of giving you that access here backstage. You know, and if you have a one-man show, for example, what's the point of backstage access? You know, I'm not going to be meeting celebrities and whatever. Plus, some of us don't even care about that stuff.
Yeah, dog. Me too. Mfethu. I also don't give a fuck about that, bro. But the Dome needs to come back. A venue for the Dome, especially for his sound.
Dome.
VIP moto.
Hey, mfethu, as in, what is it? Is it we buy cars? Nah?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's we buy cars.
Fuck, bro. These guys need to get the fuck out of there.
Nah, by now the space.
Ah,
thing.
dude.
I remember the Dome watching J. Cole. When Caslight brought him.
I was there.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I was
It's sound.
general. Fits. Guys,
The
the
Dome was
Dome
perfect.
is sound. Dog, there's no venue for the Dome for sound. Even Namu Travis Scott, but we exercise it out. And I'm always gym, like mosh pits for days.
Anyway,
dog, it was
that's enough about
But-
concerts. I was calling this balegi.
Yeah. I wanted us to start off.
Who's the Twitter guy that always done deal?
Oh, Fabrizio Romano.
Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah.
It's Romano season now.
It is indeed. You know, I wanted us to start off with a player that both our teams are linked with. Oh, Caicedo, gents. Like,
Are you linked to them?
Okay. Hey, man, you know we linked with everyone. Tinantanga, Nala PSL, we linked with Saleng. We also linked with with Charlie, dog. We linked with everyone. But you go first, okay. Oh, Caicedo, dog. What's your take?
I'm a huge fan of Moises.
Yeah.
I like his game a lot. Because I like De Zerbi as a coach, I watched a lot of Brighton games last season. And he stood out, man. Like he's very he's bought into the coach's philosophy, and his performances just took a new leap, basically. And the style that they played, he was such a core to the style, that
Yeah.
the pace that they play as a team, the way they press, his aggression when it comes to how he counter presses, especially in midfield. If you're
Yeah.
playing in midfield and Caicedo is there, you can't relax on the ball. He doesn't allow you time on the ball. He's very sly as well. He's got this thing of tackling you from behind, but not touching you, basically.
Yeah.
Just
Yo,
stealing
true.
the ball from you while you're busy looking for options. He's very, very clever. So I like I understand why we want him, because we lost Kante already. I understand why we want him. We need a ball-winning midfielder, but he's got extra skills. Like, he can actually carry the ball. He
Pass.
can pass the ball. He
Yeah.
can switch play. He can stretch out a team. Trossard benefited a lot from his play when he was still at Brighton. Um, Mitoma as well benefited
Yeah.
a lot from him, because Mitoma wants those one-on-ones. The best way to find a winger one-on-one is to find the winger when he's running free. And he kept doing this the whole season, allowing Mitoma to take on fullbacks one-on-one when there's no cover defending, when there's no midfield help, just mano a mano, and then he kills. So
Yeah.
he's got so many things that we can use to pair with Madueke
Ings.
and Mikhailo Mudryk in terms of their own skill sets as one-on-one
Yeah.
dribblers and runners as well.
Yeah.
So I see why we want him. I cannot figure out why Man United want him. But I think Man United want him to sort of put pressure on us to sell Mason Mount to them. Because the
No.
primary target, it seems, for Man United is Mason Mount. And they're unhappy with how we have priced Mason Mount, because we sold Kovacic for 30M to a rival of theirs. And they think Kovacic is a higher quality than Mason, or arguably, a better player at this stage in his career than Mason Mount. But then again, it's like, yeah, if you believed that, then you would have fought to sign Kovacic instead of Mount. But you are here knocking, wanting Mason Mount and refusing to pay for him. So they started the Caicedo thing, not because they're interested in the player. They were interested in Caicedo long ago, before he came to England. And they never actually have gone back to look for Caicedo after that. They got Casemiro. So I think they've got their ball-winning midfielder now. If they're going to get a midfielder, they need a midfielder who's going to be a complementary piece to Casemiro. So they'll need like a ball player or someone of that sort.
So
Yeah.
Can I run quickly?
Yeah.
yeah, go for it.
No stress.
So
Okay.
I agree. I agree with Onke on most of the points as raising. The one part I don't agree with is in Man United is why Man United need a player like Moises.
Yeah.
There is every side in England, the top sides. The middle is it's the core.
It's the heart.
If you can get a player like Moses, who comes in and settles literally everyone that is either going forward or when you're coming back, because basically what that position does is he protects the defenders, and when it's time to attack, he supplements the attack. That's basically that. Who's the ex Madrid player that you've got that's grown up now?
Casemiro.
Casemiro, yeah. I forget his name. Casemiro, he's getting on age-wise, and it's starting to show in that next season. I think this season he was lucky with a lot of tackles, like a lot of tackles that should have either seen him get a yellow, whether it's early in the game, or get a second yellow because it's later on in the game and you guys are protecting your 1-0 lead and end him a red card. If we're historically, Casemiro, while he was at Madrid, he never really had to do those lunging tackles. Right now, he's being asked to lunge because there's a lot that's asked of him as protecting it defense.
Yeah.
That's the first point. If you get this Caicedo boy, you'll be you'll be set. Then there's this other boy where Southampton,
Lavia.
Lavia.
Romeo must die.
He's young, and he's smooth. He's another alternative player. But the one thing I don't want at Chelsea right now is I know for a fact Poch thrives with young players, but I don't want too many young players, because with too many young players, they are learning on the job, and you have to give them time. In as much as I want to give them time, I'm not the be all and end all when it comes to fans. Some fans want new manager, come in, win us something, and some don't want to see what we are building for the future. Because the scary part with being a manager these days is that you yourself are building for a future that you don't know if you're going to be part of.
Yeah, that's true.
He signs the manager signed a 3-year contract, right? 3-year contract is what? It's about two and a half seasons. Season 1, if he gets to introduce these players, these young up and coming players, sure, fine. We don't get Europe, where that's going to be a problem. Season 2, on that, he has to win something. So it's a very thin line. It's a thin line that he has to thread. Right now, I'd go with Caicedo. He walks into our team, the starting 11.
Yeah, I think, bro, personally, if you guys sign Caicedo, you guys are 50% there from completing your squad.
Yeah,
Bro, Caicedo
I'd say
it's
even
scary
more,
for me.
I'd
Enzo
say
and
more than 50%. I'll even push it to like a 70%, because then what we're going to need is a keeper and a solid striker. A keeper yakona, we've kept Ukepa, no pun there, but if he comes right, he will come right. So if we can get ourselves a striker, but the problem with our strikers right now, they are rare, like hen's teeth, and the ones that are available are going to go for crazy price. Harry Kane at 30 is a 110 million player. Or the boy from Napoli, right now, Napoli has said they want 150 million. Historically, Napoli don't mess around when it comes to transfer fees. If Napoli say they want 100 million and you don't pay that 100 million, they keep the player.
Yeah, let him stay then. Let him rot there in Naples, because no one is gonna pay that much for him. Fuck that,
True.
And I mean, and I do agree with you. I mean, I fear, you see, if you guys can get Caicedo, I'd be more fearful of your squad in the sense that he's a very big piece. He's a very, very solid piece in your midfield. Him and Enzo, I think, could potentially be the best two midfielders, or partnership, like a partnership in midfield. I think they could potentially be the best in the league, depending on what happens, of course, with the Man City. But yeah, dog, like, Caicedo would really, really fit in for you guys, Whereas with us, Man United, bro, like, I think right now, when you're selling a house, and you don't paint your house and you don't fix it, or you want to sell it, and then from selling it, it's gonna be in another person's hand, and they need to do those renovations that are still remaining. And so I'm
Very
thinking,
true. But
part of the reasons why it's in our club we haven't even done anything in the transfer window is that the Glazers are they're really screwing us over. Essentially, like they really are showing us what I've always thought of them. I've thought of them as people who just don't really care about what happens with the team. They just care about the profits. As long as they're milking our club, That's what matters to them. And so they want to leave us in the worst state that they could possibly leave us in. And so unfortunately, Tina, we'll have to wait and see what happens. If they stay, we fucked pretty much. I don't
I
even
think
think
I've
we'll
said
make
it.
top five personally
I think
if they stay.
I've said it on this platform before.
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees are wanting to sell.
Yeah.
I think
You
what
also
they
don't think
did,
so,
They
okay?
don't.
yeah, it doesn't
Ah,
look it, eh?
They
Because
don't.
had they wanted to sell, Amabids got the Galilengena 5 billion, which is
oh,
the amount that they'd said. I think they just wanted to see the valuation of the product. Product being Man United as a brand.
They
yeah.
wanted a
And
projection. They
now,
wanted to know
yes,
if
and
they were
now,
going to sell, what was the market's response to the sale. They have
because
the
now what
market's
does it,
response. They have
thank you.
someone who wants to buy. They are not ready to sell.
True. And then what
Then
then ends up happening is with such is because the Glazers, they've got a lot of loans on the product that is Man United. So what ends up happening is that they can go to a bank and say our product is or our brand or our asset is valued at a minimum market cap value of 5 billion. So
Leverage it.
whatever loan they want, it's going to be against that valuation.
you see, then for me, if they stay, then I'll watch my team, but I know where we'll finish. We're not even gonna do well next season if these guys stay.
Uh, uh,
Personally, I don't think we're
yeah,
not even. Yeah, we're gonna be terrible, pretty much. Yeah.
I
Okay.
wanted to address. I wanted to address something Sita said about an earlier point. Sita said about young players. Is that your pooch?
Yeah.
Usnoop impethu.
Oh,
So,
Snoop.
uchichi, man.
Udanger, dog.
Entengalungi.
Udanger.
He just comes and he sits here. Okay, my boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I don't like young teams personally.
Yeah.
But I've said this to myself the last few months. A, a lot of the moves the team is making, I don't agree with as far as letting go of experienced players. I believe there's a lot of value in those players if you're trying to create turnover in terms of quality for your team and create standards for winning, especially culturally as well. You want hardened professionals that will show these younger players what it takes to reach certain levels. And there are players you could retain to maintain those standards. Kante being one, Kovacic being one. Players that you retain not because you want them to play every single week, but because you want to keep that standard of quality amongst
True.
your young group
Mm.
as something to look up to. Because what the team doesn't have now is role models. As Piliqueta's leaving, Jorginho left, um, all of the senior players basically have left the team. So now it's up to the coach now to set the culture and the standards, and it's up to the club itself to set the standard and the culture. Usually, a coach needs players that are going to be leaders for him on the pitch, in the dressing room. So now you're looking at the likes of Reece James. You're looking at maybe an Enzo to become your voice as a coach in the group in terms of the players. I'm not sure how those dynamics works because you need those players to play together for a while for them to get into that groove. So my thinking is I'm not expecting us to win anything now, but I can be excited about the fact that we are investing in youth. First of all, because what they've done is they've restructured our salary system. We have a base salary now. Base salary average is about 75,000 now for the team. So we don't have those big contracts. All of them have been shipped out, basically. The guys who had the big contracts. The only one who's left is actually Reese. And the reason Reese has a big contract is because Reese signed his contract before the World Cup. The same time, Mount had to sign his contract. But Mount decided not to sign, went to the World
Hoping
Cup.
you'd
When he
have a
came,
better World Cup.
yes, when he came back, we had already changed to the new structure with the new recruitment and chief operatings and everything. and they had created this base salary system. So he couldn't get the same terms that Reese got. So he wasn't happy and he felt like he was being shortchanged by the team. But the contract was basically identical to Reese's contract when he was first offered the contract. So now he was being offered a contract with a base salary and performance incentives attached on it.
Yeah.
So now they're saying you need to earn extra coin by performing on the pitch, which is perfectly fine. And I think that's going to fly with a younger team. So based on that, okay, I can vibe with what Chelsea is doing. The coach loves working with young players. So he's got the perfect canvas in order for him to start painting whatever picture he wants to create with this team. And then I'm personally excited about Nicholas Jackson. I know Chelsea fans are still looking for a striker. I believe with Nicholas Jackson and Broha coming back from injury. I think we can just look at that. This season is about building momentum, basically. Even if we don't make big buys, unless it's goalkeeper. If we don't make big buys after Caicedo, let's say we buy. The goalkeeper I want is Mike Magnon.
From
AC Milan.
AC.
So we get Mike, we get Moises. I'm fine. Let's get the players on the pitch. Let's get them on the training ground. Let's see what we can create with the players we have. Then let's get players attracted to our style of play, the Chelsea vibes to be back. Last season is such a dark stain on our legacy as a club that even top players are going to be like, I'm not sure where that ship is going. So let's steady the ship this season. Get what we can, steady the ship, make ourselves attractive as a club again, as an option again for top players. Then invest on top players next season when we have fought for Champions League football or something like that.
I don't know whether you're aware when I mentioned that, Uti. Right now, top tier strikers are few and far between. If Chelsea don't splurge on that 150 million, on that 100 million for a 30-year-old, I'll be comfortable. Reason being, the market does not allow for such. Because if you are spending, if you're going to go get a 150 million striker, the unfortunate thing is that he has to come in and do what the benchmark is. Benchmark being Haaland.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that in itself is going to...
You're not finding that person.
Yes. That in itself is not going to allow the striker to be themselves. I wouldn't even mind us looking at Aston Villa's striker, Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. But guys, don't you... I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned Nkunku. I know he's not like
a striker, an out-and-out striker.
Out-and-out striker, but he is a great finisher. Like, he's a person.
So
So that's the
other thing with you.
Yeah.
When I say that, I'm in the goalpost when I X. Come
on.
No,
we understand.
We understand, King. We understand.
I'll be content with, okay, cool. I spoil what's going to happen, and then come the January window. I know we don't like signing in Jan. We can then go right ahead and say, what's the Brentford striker, Utoni? He's done with his thingy. We can then get him on board. So honestly, I'm right now, I wouldn't be comfortable with 150 million on a striker who had a brilliant season, and not even in the EPL, because the EPL is a bit different. Because as I said, he's coming in on the back of something that is a striker that we know is the best in the world right now, which is Haaland. So now you're asking him, Wuti, come in. I've bought you for twice the money that Haaland was. So give me twice the goals that Haaland has.
That's an impossible task. Another thing is, because the market is so crazy for a striker, getting a young striker cheap is actually far more beneficial than getting a 30-year-old for 150M, because what you get out of that investment has nothing to do with development. You are hoping that you are getting a Haaland at that price, at that age. Whereas if you're getting a 21-year-old like Nico Jackson, who started slow in La Liga last season, getting to understand
No,
Villarreal's
no,
style of
he
play
got
and
he got he
everything.
got very he started very slow because the
Yeah,
previous season he didn't score any. He started 8 games, and
yes,
had 0 goals, 0 assists. Only like I think in the sixth game of the season he started of the new season. He then
yes.
Yeah.
started to
To,
get
to,
and
to,
be
to,
himself.
yes.
Yeah.
And he had that scoring run with 8 goals in 9 games towards the end of the season. And that's when I started seeing his name as well. I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
Senegalese boy, you know, okay,
Aish.
he's got skill, great skill, and I think his tools are very built for Premier League. Great runner with
Yeah.
the ball, loves to drop into space, understands space very well, plays behind the line at defense very well, times his runs, frees himself up with movement. He's a clever player. He's got a lot of these Havertz tendencies with his movement, but he's got the power of shot, power of header, clarity of decision making as well. He doesn't doubt himself. He's super confident as well. Plus, he's
Yeah,
African, so there's that additional strength that he has that other players like
from
Havertz
Maputo.
sometimes. Awe, Papa and I am fufu. That man,
Yeah.
that man
So
grew up with
and
fufu.
I know we will go on. We can you and I can go on about the Chelsea until until the sun
Yeah.
rises. But I think
Yeah.
there's a position that I've looked at and it concerns me. Yabona Uris Madlisa, I love that boy.
Malo
Yeah.
gusto.
He's
Malo
like
gusto. I'm done.
brilliant. But
Malo gusto.
India that concerns me. That concerns me when he is injured. He's injured for prolonged period of time.
Yeah.
Can I give you an update on Reese?
So wait, hold on. So let me finish. Either one of two things need to happen right now. We need to get actually before we need to maybe relook at him as a player and his training and his physique, so to say. Or we do need to get a good stand in for him. We
So
cannot be
we have
dependent on yeah, go for it.
so we have bought a right back from Lyon, Malo
Yeah.
Gusto,
Yeah.
to play cover for Reese. That's one. But two, Reese, after his last injury, got a new diet, has lost a lot of weight. I saw training videos last week. Ezak, he looks very lean. So now he can he can just strengthen himself. He doesn't need to bulk up. The problem with Reese was he I don't know who encouraged it. I'm not sure, but his physique was size driven because he played in
Yeah.
midfield when he was at Wigan. So when he came back, he was bigger, he was bulkier. But because
Yeah.
midfield required him to be bigger in order for him to boss midfield. Whereas when he's playing at fullback, he needs to be leaner because he runs more. He still tries to body players instead of running, and sometimes he gets fouls, you know, in dangerous areas. Not that his game as a fullback is 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 faulty, but I think he can do what Walker did. Walker leaned up and then just worked on his strength and his stamina in games to ensure that he can still get those bursts of acceleration going consistently and continuously. And I think Reese is working on that now. When I saw his physique, I was like, this is the smallest I've seen him since the first half season Tuchel was there, when he leaned up for Champions League and he was really good. Came back after Champions League and he had gotten bigger and he was a bit fat, thighs were bigger, butt was a bit out, and
Hey.
his performances were not as great. So I think him working on his someone probably pointed it out to him because his issues this season have been soft tissue.
Yeah.
which are to suggest Uguti it's conditioning completely. He's not
Yeah.
conditioned to play the long haul. So I agree with you 100%. But having seen Malo Gusto, I'm very confident that we are very covered as far as him not being there. My concern actually is left back. I don't
Yeah.
like
And then
Chilwell on the ball. I'm not a
yeah.
fan of Chilwell on the ball. When we play from the back, when the ball goes to Chilwell, it's either lost through him giving it away because he can't pass out of a press. Teams have realized if you press Chilwell in our build-up, you normally get the ball back. He'll either give you a throw-in, he's going to try to
Yeah.
do some crazy stuff he's not used to doing, or try to pass inside or square pass. You get the ball back, you can attack with the counter press quickly,
Yeah.
and it kills our defense. They did that to us so many times last season.
Yeah.
Cucurella seems way too busy, um, and he doesn't give me a lot of confidence in terms of his ball security. He's also calmness and space and everything. I have hope that if he works with another coach, a different
Yeah.
coaching
Another
team, you know,
Argentinian.
another Argentinian, that might help. I don't think Chilwell's skill set going forward is going to be affected. I think he's very great. He's our best fullback when
Yeah.
it comes to attacking positions. But when it comes to build up play, he needs like Colwell or Badiashile to help, with supporting that side, and that makes our defense lopsided. And yeah, it doesn't work really well. It was very clunky this season. Whenever the ball went to his side, I knew we are losing this one. If he was pressed, I knew we are losing that
Ish.
ball. So
It seems
Chilwell, that's the only problem I have. I think the team is shaping up well. We get Caicedo, bruh. We get a goalkeeper.
Zonyiwa.
Watch out, bruh. Watch out. I'm
Yes.
not saying we're going to win the league. I'm just saying
But
we will
you'll be
retake our
tough.
place. We'll
Yeah.
retake our place in the top six
And as
without
well,
without a
not
doubt.
without even you guys are just gonna be tough to beat. Moral of the story, you're gonna be back to being a tough. Like under Tuchel, that was your team. Your team was just very difficult to break down, very difficult to beat, especially in cup competitions. Because I was even telling Mike, with Tuchel is very good when it comes to knockout football. That's where for me, I think he excelled as a manager, and that's why you guys reached two finals in I think last season. You guys reached Carabao and FA Cup final, and
We
Champions
played
League.
we played all the finals apart from the Champions League.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah, but I think it's also mentality. I think the group that is leaving now, he could he could he could push them for the cup competitions, because there were repercussions to losing. You
yeah,
left, you went home, you were a loser. With the league, I think the mentality of the team collectively was not
yeah.
in the right space. Uh, People
True.
forget, in his first full season, we started the season unbeaten. We
Yeah.
ran. I think in November we played Man City, and I think in that game KDB scored a scorcher. He left Kante on the ground. I remember that goal like it was yesterday. He left Kante on the floor, and then
Mm-hmm.
he hit one from outside the box, goal. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
from that point onwards, our performances. In fact, I think in that game, 2 games later, we lost Reese. He got
Yeah,
injured. From that
yeah,
point onwards, our performances dipped. And Iluguti Velevele before that, our winning run was being sustained by defenders scoring
yeah,
goals, not
yeah,
strikers or our attacking players. I think Zuma was scoring.
yeah,
Thiago Silva had goals from corners.
yeah,
Chilwell was getting assists. Reese was scoring and getting
yeah,
assists. But Mount, Kai, all these other guys were not
yeah.
producing in
Scoring
terms of
and
their attack.
Lukaku as well. Don't forget,
Lukaku as well,
Lukaku
if you
was
remember.
Sihlen's
Timo
favorite
Werner as well.
striker.
Yes,
Timo
yes,
Werner
yes,
as well.
yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
by the time
yeah,
it hit December, we lost our way, and we
mm,
never recovered. So we
yeah,
remained third throughout that season. We were never able to carry that momentum. So I think mentally that shift hasn't happened. So freshening up this group maybe giving them a sense of arrogance, because what do they have to lose? They need to improve from 12th. Anyone can do that as a Chelsea player. They need to improve from a team that finished 12th. So it's a great base for them to start, and they can aim as high as they want to, honestly. And everything they do is going to be an achievement for them. If they beat City next season, they're going to celebrate it like it's a cup final. It's going to be like when Arsenal was winning games. I was rewatching the highlights of the Bournemouth game when Arsenal made that comeback, and I remember how they celebrated Reece Nelson's goal. It was almost as if the league title
They'd won
was
the league,
in the dugout, at that present moment. And I think emotionally they checked out after that game. They were dying after that game. They thought it was going to become easy after that game, and they started drawing after that. So I think young teams will fall, victim to that from time to time.
100%.
You get too high when you achieve something, and you can't bring yourself back down. So but I'm ready for this journey, man. I'm a Chelsea guy, so whatever happens.
Yeah, all right, guys. Let's segue to United. I think this. What's funny, bro? Why are you laughing at me,
4,
dog?
5, 6. So
Wait, Glenn, what's so funny on Get Dog? Like,
okay, so I was looking at the first price point, man. Your club captain.
Yeah.
How much was he bought for?
80.
It was ish. Okay, fine.
That's
Glenn, you go
ginormous
first. Tina, we don't sell well, guys. It's
No.
a fact. It's no hidden. Tina, dog, our club is not run properly. We're a state-owned entity. I keep telling
Jadon Sancho. What?
dude.
Yeah. So
Dude.
I
You
actually,
go first.
for the first time I took notes, because I pulled out squad thingy, what's this? Man United. And I wrote notes. I would see in this list how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 players. But I firmly believe there's 13 players that you guys need to let go of.
I agree.
Before we start letting go of players like your Sanchos of this world, your Freds of this world.
No, Sancho.
No, but like I think the 13 players that you are talking about, like they're at the bottom, in my opinion. Sancho and Fred.
Let me
not
give
at
you,
the top, because
let me
dude,
give you
McTominay is not it, bro. He's not it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you my 13. And this is purely looking from outside. You will then from inside agree or disagree with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, McTominay.
Number 1, valid. That one was meant to go 5 seasons ago.
Number 2, Fred.
I wouldn't say number 2.
The problem with Fred is he is that he every time I think Fred, I think Scott for some reason.
Nah.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, yeah. True. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Ilanga.
Yo. Of course. That's true.
Iqbal.
He's already gone. He's on for €1 million. That's like 800 and something K pounds.
Brandon Williams.
Yo. You know what's the problem? It's because these guys earn so much, Onke and Sihle, and it's hard to get them off our books because they know very well that should they leave, they're not gonna get the money that they're currently on.
I think it was a Solskjaer. Right. He was a Solskjaer move.
Yeah.
Hannibal,
nah, he's on loan currently.
Yeah, I think
he hasn't yet officially there. Yeah, he's also gonna leave.
Dean Henderson.
Nah, most probably.
They're trying to leave. They were hoping Nottingham was going to put in an offer.
Yeah.
We halfway, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't disagreed with thingy. Harry.
Of course.
Obvious.
Come on. Lunch bar.
Martial.
Obvious. Yes. Nah, yeah. Best ability is availability, and he fails that. So
it pains to say Eric, but he is forever ever injured.
Yeah. And hence I'm saying best ability is availability. Yeah.
Donny.
Nah, yourself. Hey, but yeah, nah, yourself, bro. I mean, oh, he's just bad luck, dog. He's always getting injured, and he's getting
Telles
serious injuries. Nah, of course, he's in Sevilla. He's a Europa League winner. I think most probably Sevilla will put in a bid for him.
and then Sancho.
Yeah.
It's
You
13
know what?
players.
You know the
So
thing is with Sancho, guys.
wait,
Man, yeah,
before you tell me. So I've
yeah,
given you 13 players, and these are
yeah,
players in your squad, and
yeah,
only one out of the 13 you want to defend.
yeah. Because for me, Sancho, bro, there is a player in him. There really is. It's just that systematically, stylistically, I don't think he suits the way Ten Hag wants to play. Because I think Ten Hag has pretty much he's shown that he wants to build a pace and power team. You know, look at the players we linked with. Mount, pressing machine. You know what I mean? Rabio as well, not good on the ball, but very good at winning the ball back. He's not really competent on the ball. And so for me, as a United fan, I thought Ten Hag was gonna, play the Ajax model of, retaining the ball. But the players that we are linked with aren't good at retaining the ball.
Yeah,
And it's now I think we're gonna be playing heavy metal football like Liverpool, where it's just us,
I
playing a
watched
very high press.
I watched
And
the episode,
yeah,
the Man United trio, where it was yourself, it was Lamech, who
and
else? And
Zweli,
Uzu.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think Uzweli made mention of he's rated Ten Hag's ability to transform. He rated top tier,
yeah.
but right now he's questioning a lot of his strategy in getting
Yeah.
these players. Because I
Mm.
think he mentioned with first season there was this reliability on he's going to bring in players that he's worked with before,
Yeah.
and players that understand the philosophy and are going to come in and they won't take time to adapt to his style of play. But that didn't really come right. Johnny
It
just
didn't.
played under him, and he got even worse. The Brazilian Anthony, he's a skill top
Vegos.
that
Yeah, Virgos is for me though.
Uvekos was a stopgap.
Yeah.
It was one of those where we need a striker, and
Now, but as well, CTN, it just shows you how serious our board is, how unserious our board is at backing our manager. Like seriously, stopgap fair, but you could have found someone far better than the stopgap that we got. Like really,
Here's my problem
yeah,
with United.
yeah,
Backing your manager doesn't mean giving your manager that the
100
role
million.
of recruitment.
mm-hmm.
Backing your manager means helping your manager identify gaps in his team and finding the best possible solutions to those problems. The problem here is if your manager was looking for a skillful winger as a profile, a recruitment chief was going to say, okay, let us look at the market. Who are the available skillful right wingers to plug our gap in the right wing? Oh, I have worked with Anthony. Oh, you've worked with Anthony. Okay, let's see how much Anthony would cost. 90M. Okay, Anthony seems like a very expensive option. Let us look at these three other options that we have scouted in the past that are right wingers. Let's compare them versus Anthony and see if we don't get similar results from those three. Do your comparison test. Okay, no. The data suggests the best option would have been so and so. And
Yeah,
so is going to cost us 35 million. So we're going to go after 30, so and so. No problem. So and so is going to be able to provide the exact type of style of play I want to play. Because what happened during the season, Anthony started to eat the bench.
yeah. That's true.
So
That's true.
so his argument for I want players that have played under me or under my style or whatever, it's useless. At the end of
Mm.
the day, it's about who is the most effective to pursue that style, who doesn't cost that
Yeah.
much. If I'm going to bench a 90 million pound player that I vouched for, who worked with me, if I'm going to buy a left back in Malaysia who's going to get benched by Luke Shaw the whole season, what was the point of the board backing me with those players in the first place? The board should have helped me by putting a person who makes decisions for me. Mason Mount is a Ten Hag recruit. I am dead sure if Man United had a recruitment chief, they could have found a profile that is exactly like Mason Mount. A Gabri Vega, for example, who plays exactly like Mason Mount does, for much cheaper than Mason Mount is going to cost. But because we want to back the manager, we're not backing the manager in any, what's this word I'm looking, tangible way. The way we are trying to back our manager is by making the manager solve problems. The manager is coaching half the time. He doesn't have time to
Yeah.
scout players. So when we say, what player do you want, he's going to tell us the most obvious player that he watches. Oh,
Yeah.
I've watched Mason Mount at Chelsea. He plays the style of football I would like. That's not scouting. He didn't
Yeah.
scout Mason Mount and say, I've identified Mason Mount. Everyone knows who Mason Mount is. There is no evidence of actual scouting. The players he has selected are players he watched in the Dutch league.
Yeah.
Malaysia,
So
he watched in the
100%.
Dutch
and
league.
historically, gents,
Yeah.
historically, the way that Man United do their thing is whenever it comes to transfer window, you guys will be quiet, and then there will be rumblings of animosity amongst the fans. And then you know how the Man United and the Glazers shut you up. They give you a marquee signing,
Yes.
which that marquee signing in itself is a question mark. But in it being
Anthony
a question
last
mark,
season.
yeah, in it being a question mark, you then are hopeful ukuthi, okay, sure, fine. Yabona la uzokusucceed phela. We can't be throwing away 80 million thingy. In the Dutch league, he was in Brazil, and you're like, okay, hopefully. They do that to you guys time and time again.
And we
And
always
they
fall
keep
for
falling
it.
for
And
it.
you
And we
keep on
always
falling
fall
for
for
it.
it as a collective. And I mean,
All the
I won't
time.
say I fall for it because I fully agree with what Onke said. You pretty much summarized what I've always thought about my team. There's just no structure at the top, and so whenever there's no structure, really, like you pretty much have no sustainability. In the long run, you keep buying players, marquee signings. For me, I'm that type of fan who, dude, even if you buy like remember when Dimitri Payet came into the Premier League? No one, okay, I knew him from PlayStation, but I won't say I knew him from watching
You
him.
didn't know
But
he
when
was
he
going to be
came
this
in,
magical.
you see, that's what I'd like us to do, bro. Use our scouting networks. It's like Caicedo. Caicedo was scouted by Ralf Rangnick. Rangnick did say we must go for Caicedo. Before he even signed for Brighton, he even said we must go for Julian Alvarez, the one that City signed, before he signed for Man City when he was still at River Plate. And we didn't listen to him because why? We're so obsessed with getting a Bentley, a Ferrari, not knowing that, dog, at times you just need an efficient vehicle that which will be reliable, that will do the job. Doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. Yeah, but so Tina, hey, and bruh, it's worrying. I won't lie to you. I'm worried, because it's one
almost
step
like
forward
pulling,
and two steps back.
yeah, you're pulling what Daniel Levy does, but I think the difference with you is Daniel Levy waits for the last few hours of the
window.
transfer window, and then he'll
Yeah.
get you a player that people are not sure about. With you guys, you're getting a ready-made product, so to say.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been using the word product today quite a lot, but you're
Yeah.
getting a ready-made player who comes in, and one of two things happen.
Yeah.
The player has to adapt or change their style of play because now they're here, and this is how the team plays. Case in point, Usancho, he's struggling. Usancho, if he had to go to a team, Edala, Ama 1-2, like very close triangulars.
Yeah.
Sancho.
Would excel.
Maybe so. I don't want to say Man City because Man City right now is tailored for most
Of course.
players, so to say.
Yeah.
But if he can find himself in a team that is not depending too much on pace, but one of those short passes, those short burst passes, he will succeed. The Brazilian spin top, I don't know what he offers because he's predictable. And
Very.
we all know Guti, he wants to cut in Ashaya that
Yeah.
and a lot of teams have figured him out because they watch hours and hours
Yeah.
of video. Guti, don't let him cut inside.
100%,
And I think
man.
once he's been found like that, he then gets frustrated. He has one shot, two shot, the third shot, he's already doing this because now he's frustrated, and the fans start getting on his case. And he's got this colored temperament about him where he's from Brazil. You can't tell him shit. So it's that.
He's from the favelas.
It's
He's
from the
from the
favela.
yes.
Castle Nzima, lelo. Castle serious.
So
Yeah, but like,
I wanted to also point. I wanted to point this as well. Right now, I get a notification. Mark Goldbridge, United linked with
yeah.
Kudus, and
Oh,
who's this boy from Barca?
oh, De Jong.
The Dutch kid.
You see,
De
De
Jong
Jong, I
again.
want De Jong.
What do they
I
have in
want De
common?
Jong.
What do they have in
They
common?
they played for Tenna.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, gents, let's talk about Frankie. Oh, hold on, Onken. I just want to get this out. I want to get this out of the way. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is on the back of our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, telling the rest of the world, Duguti, Africa is not going to beg anymore.
We are not beggars.
At what
We're not
point?
beggars. Yay.
At what point is this stop going to look pathetic? Because if Frank right now doesn't sign for Man United, it's very loud. Uti, a young player like Frankie has declined you guys 3 transfer periods. Get the point.
Why are we still trying to sign this player?
Nami, I don't.
This player is at Barcelona. Barcelona wants the player. The player wants Barcelona. We have no hope of signing this player. Why can't you find a player that can play that position?
Man United. Man United. He come slipping into his DMs. Come this side. And the player is like, no, I'm happy where I am.
But at the same time, the player can see that we are a Popeye organization. You know, yes, Barcelona now, but they're Popeye financially, but at least they got players, bro. Barca still have Gundo. They've got him. They've got Gavi. They've got Pedri. You see what I'm saying? They got a great culture as well. I mean, like they won the league title for crying out loud, even though shit is hitting the fan.
They're not firing on all cylinders.
You see what I'm saying? Even though shit is hitting the fan, they still are.
And this is in a league. This is in the league where there's Madrid.
Exactly, dude. You see, so for me, I get you, Sitle, and it's pathetic on our end. We're just a pathetic organization, you know. Come to think.
No, don't look down on your team.
Nah, right now. There's a few. As long as
and I think,
dude,
hold on.
As long as
there's a few good players in your team.
No, dog, it's not about having a few good players, bro. It's about having owners who are serious about making this organization move forward. Tina, unfortunately, our owners care about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what happens in the NFL.
Across
they don't give a damn about Man United, bro. And until we get new owners, we're not going anywhere. That's why with me, my biggest transfer, I was even telling Zweli and Lamek, the biggest transfer is us getting new owners. That is the biggest one. If we don't, even if we can sign about Frankie,
about that.
Dog, that's the only thing I'm hoping for, because I've always wanted this, bro. Since varsity, I've always wanted new ownership. And unfortunately, these guys are taking a piss. You know, we're a state-owned entity, Buffett. Escom, Denel, SAA.
And you want to be a Saudi, you want to be a Saudi-owned entity.
Dude, Vele. You can't blame us. You can't blame us for that. Because the thing is that at least with Saudis are passionate about football. They wanna compete. Look at Newcastle, for crying out loud. Newcastle are making good signings. They scouting proper players.
Tonali,
all the signings. Dude, Tonali.
You see,
Today they know, hey man. And it's nangapa sakekeleza mfethu, sakekeleza. Yo,
Busy
we're gonna get
wanting.
overtaken by Newcastle, bruh.
No, I
We're
think
gonna
I think
get
I think I think
overtaken by them, bruh.
I think
We're
I
gonna
think
be that team,
this
dog.
season another used to be like Joe said.
Dog. So far,
I
they
think
ever
this
seen
season
it, boy.
this season is going to be a
Yeah.
defining season for a lot of the clubs.
Eish, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be lit. It's
But
gonna be a lit
Yabona,
season.
mostly,
kuna
mostly for two
ma
coaches.
team that are
I think two coaches
wait.
have.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think two coaches have the most pressure this season.
Yeah.
I think Ten Hag was lauded basically last season for winning
Energy drink. Energy drink.
playing no real opposition, winning.
It's like in Newcastle, Baba. That's a real opposition now.
Yeah, that's Man United, ne? Man United
Yeah.
is saying winning a cup versus Newcastle is something to bump your chest about. Yani Champions League by Nisa, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Secondly,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Secondly, I think it's this one is I don't think it's Klopp. I don't think it's Arteta. I think it's Ulendo. Who's this? Wait, who did I say first?
Okay. You said Ten Hag.
Okay, Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Ten Hag and Arteta actually. Because Arteta for the first time has Champions League football, and there's an expectation
It's going to be a problem for
that
him.
they're going to continue to challenge and play in that space in the league. So now we put Europe and the elite of Europe now, the elite competition of Europe as part of the equation. So let's see if he manages, because he was still trophyless last season. For all the heroics, they still won nothing last season.
So with Arteta, I looked at it and I said, okay, he's attacking three. Let's say he's attacking. Yeah, let's say attacking three. He's got, and these are midfielders I'm speaking of. He's got 6 players that I think are pretty decent.
Yeah.
He's got our former boy. He's got Martinelli. He's got Saka. He's got the boy from Brighton, ex-Brighton player.
Trossard.
Trossard. He's got who else? But I counted 6 in total. I can't remember the other 2. And in those is
Gabriel.
Well, yeah, he's got Gabriel. There's another. Yeah, I counted 6. And I said
maybe you counted Smith Rowe. Did you count Smith Rowe?
Smith Rowe, yes. And he has to choose 3 in each game. And in him choosing 3 out of the 6, some are going to be left, sure, fine. They've got a lot of games this season. Champions League is going to be that added pressure. The Champions League strains your bench. Yabona, if ufuna win Champions League, ibench yakho fanele ihlakaniphe.
But they're not gonna win it though. Come on.
No.
Relax, dog. Now it's you're acting like Arsenal is gonna. Dog, they're just there to make up the numbers. Bafana Nazi. We're just there to make up the numbers.
They're gonna go to Bayern, and Bayern is Benzema.
That's itself. If we go to Bayern, like as long as we have, you see if things don't change. You see if we go into next season with what we have. Back to the season 2 seasons ago.
I think I've said
like
this.
Nobody's business.
I've said this, and I'm gonna say it again. And football, English football, is very unforgiving. You not making a decision is you making a decision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dilly dally chasing Mason Mount. Every now and then, Declan, have you signed for Arsenal and whatnot? And you will regret it, because when comes the Ivali period, you'll look at your squad and you'll say you're stuck with Itapaweo Martial, who is forever injured
Not
because
even.
he's the
Tupperware
cheap
is more
plastic.
quality though, dog. It's more quality.
Okay, it's a
Tupperware,
Tupperware, yes,
dog.
China. Leo
Yeah.
Lega ngeni microwave.
Yeah, me
yeah.
tired, boy. Like, boy, me go for 1 minute. Yo, me look scout. As soon as you hear,
And
and you like shit. I need to stop.
and you're stuck with Uwekos as he left.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
gone.
alone. He
Yeah,
was alone. He's gone.
we're in a
So be very careful. It's like everyone is looking. What we still have time. And right now, I wonder the minute what's the 1st of Jan? Sorry, this 1st of Jan, 1st of July. 1st of July is going to be the 1st of Jan for most teams.
Yeah.
And when are you still?
Look how early all the other teams got their first signings.
Damn.
Liverpool got McAllister like a week after the season finished.
Yep.
Man
for
City,
35, dog. For 35, dog.
Man City.
And when are you gonna pay twice? You're gonna pay twice for Mason Mount.
Man City rushed in quickly for Ulen Kovacic. Arsenal were quick with Kai Havertz. Chelsea were quick with Nico Jackson and Kunku, but Kunku was already finished in June.
Yeah, it was a done deal.
Yeah.
And then
the massive clear out.
Tottenham was
the
already
massive clear out at Chelsea. That also, because remember that affects the wage bill. The 13 players that I mentioned at Man United, only how many? 2 you guys mentioned. Wuti is gone for 800k. The other one is on loan. And you remember, for you to take in players, you must release players. So, which is why last week I said it, Chelsea dodged a live bullet there with the Saudi League.
Yeah, because we offloaded so many wages, and our bad wage deals, like Ziyech was a bad wage deal, Koulibaly was bad wages, Havertz was bad wages. Kante deserved his wages. I believe Kovacic deserved his wages, but I think at this stage in their careers, put them in positions where they can either make a lot of money or they can play for success. Chelsea is not playing for trophy success. So moving Kovacic is helping his career.
Yeah.
Let him leave England with a league title. He's already won everything in football. Give him a league title. I'll be right. Ulento, Kante has won everything. Give him money. Give him
retirement money.
100 million contract. Let him enjoy his life in a Muslim country as well, as a Muslim believer. Give these other guys those options.
A match made. It's a match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven, dog.
Yeah.
Aubameyang is dilly-dallying for no reason. He should be making money in a Muslim country as a Muslim, and people in Saudi live that lifestyle.
Sorted. He's home.
He would be proper in that country. He would have the biggest entourage in the country. He'd be the most interesting character there.
Yeah.
He'd be king in Saudi, dog. He'd be friends with all the Sheikh's sons.
Yeah.
He'd be fine.
Because he's a character himself. But Arsenal, they have me concerned. I think
you see us and Arsenal, dog. It's Gates, dog. Not Jalen, but it's not gonna be like
Timber.
Even if they get Timber, bro. Arsenal are not gonna be a threat.
Timber is firm. Is firm like wood, my guy.
But remember, Arsenal's issue was depth in their defense. And then if they don't sell Partey, I expect them to. If they don't sell Partey,
he's gone Saudi.
If they don't sell Partey, I think they would still retain some depth in midfield. If they decide to sell Partey, then I don't understand what their plan is in midfield. Because if City says, "See, I'm just taking Rice, I'll bench no Calvin Phillips,"
you see, because isn't Xhaka also leaving as well?
He's left already.
He's
gone. He's gone to Bundesliga. He's gone to Germany.
I forgot the team he signed for.
Yeah, I think
but he's left.
Yeah. I think he's
he's
gone.
You see what I'm saying? Tina, like I said, we're not moving. We're not moving like teams that want to compete.
No one is leaving. No one is coming.
Yeah, well,
United is something else.
Yeah, and so what can you do as
to be fair?
Yeah.
Liverpool but
it's just
they rebuilt with one brick. And okay,
Milner finally left.
they're shipping out that
Yeah.
boy. Also, they've shipped out 2 players. They're loaning out that other boy. I forgot his name. Starts with an F. That boy looks
Fabio
like he's
Carvalho. Fabio
Carvalho.
Carvalho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to
He's
Borussia.
on. Yeah, is going Bundesliga on loan.
Yes.
But now, but what are they rebuilding? So I don't know what the
what's
strategy
up?
is there.
I don't think they're
now,
rebuilding.
yeah,
I think
I also don't think so.
I think Liverpool needed a recharge. Today, apparently, they're in for Romeo Lavia, who would benefit from a Klopp type of system. He's like a throwback of Wijnaldum in a way, without the other skill sets like Wijnaldum in terms of being press resistant and everything. But he's a ball-winning midfielder now, a very hard-working type of a player Klopp can find good use for, basically.
100%.
So I think because Klopp would Klopp, team will still do Klopp things.
Rock and roll, heavy metal.
Yeah, they'll rock and roll. As long as they're not trying to do this thing they've been doing the last 2 seasons of being a ball-playing team, being a
I think this is his last season also at Liverpool. The German job, I don't know whether he sees himself to be too young for the German job, but I think the national side job is just suited for him. Yeah, they're terrible.
Do you think they're not thinking Nagelsmann at this point because he's not getting a job now, Eloy? PSG keeps being rumored, but
no. But I think with him, angazi ukuthi problem ikephi. It might be demand, or when I say demands from his side, ukuthi ufuna this, ufuna that, or they just don't get along with the board. Because now being fired by no one saw that one coming. To be honest.
And the thing is, Nagelsmann built his career for the Bayern job. That's all he ever wanted. So I think once he lost that, his world was sort of rocked. So he's walking into these boardrooms feeling like, guys, like, do you know who I am? Like I've
and then the board is like, no, you're the failed Bayern Munich manager. But anyway, besides that, I mean, if I was the German federation, I'd tell Klopp, this is your last season. Do what you want to do, and he's going to exert these players. He's going to work them hard in that Europa League, and they might challenge for the league. And then if they win a trophy, he can say cheers by being on the high.
100%.
I don't think he's leaving. Hey, I
don't know that that's the other side of me hoping that it is.
Yeah, I think Klopp and Liverpool and Anfield and that culture, yes, Merseyside, were made for each other.
Nah,
in the same way he was
it's
made,
more it's
he
more
was made
yeah,
for Dortmund.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
In the same way, it's such a good fit for him. I don't see
Dortmund fans are German also, so they can bring that into their national side. Sure, fine, they don't play as many games as your Anfield home games, but
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had to choose Mill. I mean, I'm on your side, Shivar. I'm saying he pushes your players and you guys win either the Europa League. That will mean he's won everything. And the league or in the league. And then he can say goodbye on a high. I'm on your side.
I don't think he'll be satisfied. I just genuinely don't think Klopp is that guy who's like, I'm going to Liverpool. I want to win every trophy I possibly can at Liverpool and then call it a day. I think Klopp is still thinking there's still this big scalp of Pep, who basically was there in England at the same time that I was my biggest adversary. And I still need to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Or else this rivalry will be so one-sided. It would be laughable, basically. So
it would be like Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm not in his head in that way. I don't think Klopp thinks that way, but I think there is a part of him that feels as though he belongs there, And there's nothing that suggests, even when he's asked about his future, there's nothing that suggests Klopp is thinking about any other venture in football outside of coaching at that stadium. He loves that place. So I get where Shiva is also. I don't think Liverpool fans are ready to move on from Klopp. You know, he
Because
walks
who are
on
they
water,
gonna have?
bruh. They don't care what he does. He can finish 17th. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't
He
care.
walks on water for them. So
Yeah.
that type of relationship, the Liverpool faithful have been so hopeful of such a relationship with a coach, and he's such a good fit. He didn't even want to leave Dortmund when that time came. So it's one of those things that I don't think he's the time.
Passion.
He's perfect for that club, man. And if Klopp leaves, I can bet you anything. Um, Newcastle is coming very quickly for him.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, dog, come here. He
Retirement
would marry
fund.
very well.
Fund.
Yo, exactly.
Yo,
that
it
team,
flourish.
that fan base.
And yeah, I was gonna say, with the fans, they
Yo.
go in.
Exactly.
The Magpies, they something else.
Yeah, no, gents,
If you want to talk about passion.
Yeah, I think it's a child. Like, yo, hour.
This one was a
11
podcast.
minutes.
This one.
Yeah, this was a podcast. Yeah. But Siobhan needs to come on. It would be nice if we can have opinions from, each and every,
Yeah, like Liverpool, man. Liverpool fans are very quiet these days.
Hey,
no.
Stop.
Yeah.
Being
really
trophyless is not nice, eh?
Yeah, no, gents, thank you so much once again there for availing yourselves. Hopefully next week there'll be more interesting news, because this week it's been it's relatively quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
There hasn't been any interesting
Here we
news.
goes. We need a lot more here.
We need more of those for us to. Then of course, then at least we can have more of these discussions. But this week, are you guys available? Maybe if there's like a fire, here we go. That we can,
I know we'll be there. We can even do here. We go 12 o'clock lunchtime.
Shit, dog.
Maybe it's Moises is coming to Chelsea.
Dog. We're going live.
Kind of guys can wait.
Live
can
wait. Yeah. I know, guys. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. This is Caicedo Sport, and we out. Peace. Show of it.